Now may I request our next speaker, Ms. Priya Gupta, founder, Sir Priya Foundation.
First of all, I would want to have a huge round of applause for everyone who is still sitting here. I mean, after a long day, all the technical sessions, and during Delhi's flood. So, at the outset, I want to thank ICMAI to invite me for this session. Also, all the dignitaries and speakers for enlightening the audience with their experience and knowledge. Although I would like to mention here, I'm not coming from the government, I'm not coming from the NGO, I'm not coming from the chamber, because I am working with all of them. So, in short, I would like to give a brief introduction about myself. Earlier, I started working with startups, then MNCs like KPMG, Big Fours. And after that, I started working with academia like Indian Institute of Delhi, Technology, IIT Delhi. And then I started working with ministries in rural development, in different ministries altogether, to promote women entrepreneurship, sustainability, education, etc. And right now I'm working at a chamber, FICCI, as an assistant director in ICT. So here, after hearing, from different experts coming from either the technical background or the government or the NGOs, today I want to give my own perception on how we can promote ESG. कोई ज्ञान नहीं दूंगी, in short, because आप लोग काफ़ी ज़्यादा मुझसे जानते हैं और आपसे मैं काफ़ी कुछ सीख सकती हूँ. With this, I always start my speech or session or interaction. And right at the end of the session, I would want all of you to introspect and take something back with which you can question and come back to us or the government for implementing the changes. So my perception of ESG or bringing the change or promoting sustainability throughout the world or in India is, first you need to change yourself. You need to bring that change as an individual. At this age, I have read Upanishads and Gita and Mahabharata, all right? And one concept which is written in Upanishad is self. Utmost priority and importance is given to self. So when we are making changes in our lives, by changing little habits like one of the dignitaries mentioned, for example, having a morning routine or observing your actions, or therefore observing what other people are doing around you. All right. For example, you just ask yourself, how many family members do you have in your family? And how many cars do you have? Or how many vehicles do you buy? I know, यहाँ से सब ज्ञान लेने के बाद, after 10 minutes or 5 minutes, I will not exceed this session for more than 5 minutes. सब भूल जाने, everybody would forget कि अंदर क्या क्या हुआ था. मैं भूल जाऊँगी. Because इतना ज़्यादा knowledge share हुआ है, that too in a very technical, manner, that it's impossible for a human to retain everything. But what's possible for everybody to retain, it's your individuality and to observe what other people are doing and to make changes on day-to-day basis. All right? So I request each one of you to first start observing your actions from today onwards. कि आप यहाँ से घर जाते हुए कितनी EV vehicles देखते हैं, कितना पेट्रोल, और आप आगे within 1 to 5 years, would you buy a vehicle which is an electric vehicle? If you don't have the affordability, what would you do to make that affordable? to create that affordability. And henceforth, if you observe things with clear lens, then you would be able to suggest the government or the experts like CA, CMAs, etc., to make further changes in the policy. While pursuing my course at IIM Kozhikode, it was about public policy management. We were taught about urban infrastructure, and exactly 1 year back, we were talking about floods. Floods in Bangalore, Delhi, Calcutta. And there I gave an example. Let's go back to Indus Valley civilization. All right. अब डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हैं, they were developed. We are speculating, we are discussing about things like ESG, entrepreneurship, inclusion, sustainability, etc., because we have made so many mistakes over the period of, I would not say years, hundreds of years. And we are trying to cope up with that. खुद ही गलती करके डिस्कशन करते हैं, उसके बाद भी गलती करते हैं. That's how we all are. Okay? So, another important point which I would like to mention after telling you that it's very important for all of you to give importance to individuality. And then the second point comes is, if you really read about our history and civilizations which we had thousands of years back, you will realize what kind of policy changes would we require, even in personal or the professional life. All right? So when you attend such sessions like today, or you interact with experts on one-to-one basis, try to brainstorm over these things rather than just listening to us. Think beyond us. All right? People have given frameworks, government has given the framework. Many startups in the ecosystem are coming with different ideas, but what are you doing or I am doing here? Okay? So the second important point is question and give your output. Now, I will show you one PPT which is being prepared by me and my team. I know PPT is one of the most boring aspect of all the interactions, but I request all of you to just bear with me for 2 more minutes. I'll just wrap the PPT in few minutes. So in this particular PPT, we would be talking about governance of free mobility, surface area, and ocean. So first of all, I would like to ask, not from a specific person here, but you can ask yourself, what is governance? Because sometimes amidst all of these things that we are listening today or generally, बहुत ही complex कर दिया गया है processes को. However, in governance, in policy, we should simplify. And this is one of the experience I had while working with, even with the ministries as well, that in order to make the general public aware of what is happening and what should be done, we need to make the policy understandable by people who are not experts. Okay, right now during Delhi's flood, who is suffering? Not people like us. People who are suffering are out there. They don't know what to do, how to do. All right, so in order to make concepts like environmental, sustainability, governance, things easier, let's make it understandable by the people who are really affected. Okay, let me give you one example from my own organization. While working with MORD, I realized that women artisans in India do not have a marketplace. But that's an issue which I got to know when I went to different states in India. But what is the solution? आप जब तक जाकर उनसे बात नहीं करेंगे, those women artisans, that you can sell it. They are confident, they are skilled, but how to sell it? Who is training them? Who is developing them? आप उन्हीं की भाषा में नहीं समझाएंगे, they will not understand it and take an action. All right? So, thus, We need to focus on the simplicity of the subject matter, be it policy related to anything, either ESG or data protection, etc. So coming back to the PPT, what is green mobility? I think most of you must have heard today what is green mobility. I need not to repeat the term, but I'll just give an example. For example, EVs. EVs reduce emissions and dependency on fossil fuels. Public transportation reduces congestion and encourages shared mobility. Like I mentioned, I am sharing about public transportation, but you know the whole system of traffic congestion in Delhi, especially in Delhi and Bangalore. Then even if you take a public transportation, for example, metro and buses now, it's congested, right? Because of population outburst. Then if you see that there is an issue, I always see people complaining in the office, especially in the morning. Metro में भी भीड़ है, roads पे भी भीड़ है, कहाँ जाएं? उठ के आए office. Generally meeting 11 बजे है, we reach at 12:30. Why? But we are just complaining. What can be the possible solutions, right? So think about it. So everybody knows about it, the benefits of reducing, pollution, air quality, healthy lifestyles, etc. Embracing a sustainable future through green mobility. So the Indian government policies and initiatives for promoting green mobility demonstrate a strong commitment to sustainable transportation solutions. One of our dignitaries, she has already explained what our government has been doing to promote this. The combination of subsidies, infrastructure development, and public transportation project is driving transition. And this is what I am going to focus upon in this particular PPT. These efforts are not just promoting the environmental benefits, it's also promoting the economical benefits. As a matter of fact, society is here, individual is here, and when you combine it, economic is the backbone of any policy. So alone, individual, alone, society cannot do anything. It's an intersection of the individual, society, and the economy altogether. Basically, economic benefits or disadvantages, they are just backbone of any policy. So FAME scheme, which is accelerating the transition to EVs. So I am pretty sure somebody today would have discussed about it. I'll just brief about it. So FAME scheme provides financial incentives to consumers for purchasing EVs, making them more economically viable and attractive. But as a matter of fact, due to lack of infrastructure and due to lack of subsidies, we have not really reached to that mark yet. But we are not, it's not that we are not following it. It's just a matter of time since we are developing countries. By promoting the adoption of EVs, FAME scheme aims to reduce vehicular pollution and enhance energy security. Like we have already seen in one of the presentation that transportation and vehicular pollution, is one of the prominent pollution which is there into the urban, cities. So we need to focus on, promoting EVs to reduce vehicular pollution. NEMMP, a roadmap for electric mobility in India. So it's one of these schemes or policy by the government which aims to achieve national fuel security and reduce dependency on fossil fuels and promote sustainable transport alternatives. As you can read, it is already deployed 6 to 7 million electric vehicles on Indian roads, and by 2023. It's already 2023 which is going on, and I'm sure like me, who have already observed, cabs like Blue Smart on Delhi's road. They are electric vehicles as compared to other, brands. So we are seeing the change, but that's not very rapid as compared to what we, literally write on papers. Okay. and it will not be rapid if you don't take if you don't take the responsibility at an individual level to make a change. So subsidies, how does subsidies work, making EVs affordable? So how the Indian government is making EVs affordable, that is subsidy, but what is this mechanism which the government is following for making this possible? So this is basically to incentivize the purchase of EVs, which reduces the cost of EVs, making them economically competitive, and it ensures that consumers can benefit from the environmental advantages of EVs without significant financial barriers. So by adoption of these, again, we are leading towards sustainable transport ecosystem. This is one of the model which I wanted to include in this presentation is cross-model coordination, and this proper model is prominent in most of the policies that we make in different industries, not just related to ESG. So it is very important for all the stakeholders to come together and make an impact with the cohesive workforce and innovation. So cross-modal coordination, I will not read the whole PPT. You can take a screenshot and read it after the presentation. So basically, stakeholders from different modes of transportations are also working together to develop green mobility initiatives. For example, the Indian Railways and Ministry of Road Transport and Highways are working together, because sometimes, most of the times, it happens that one initiative which is being taken by one ministry, it's again a replica of the initiative of another ministry. So in order to eliminate such confusion while working on a particular problem, it is very important to follow a structure wherein this would work, that is cross-modal coordination. Initiatives taken by the government of India, like we have discussed, FAME, NE, MMP, subsidies we have discussed, infrastructure development, like ma'am has already enlightened and shed light on the same. Public transportation project, I think there are certain technical aspects which need to be taken care of with respect to the infrastructure related to public transportation, especially in cities like Delhi, Bangalore, and Bombay. So how can we bring that innovation is a question which I would like to put forward in front of everybody, especially people who are coming from the CMA institutions, because you can bring those kind of nitty-gritty and efficiency in the policy, which is going to be helpful for people further. So challenges and solutions. Like I mentioned, the difficulty of coordinating policies across different jurisdictions is one of the challenge. Then the pace of technological advancement, we are already, experiencing this challenge. Lack of stakeholders engagement, yes, like I mentioned during this presentation, those who are the beneficiaries and affected are not even aware. We all are aware or getting that knowledge, but we are not sharing it. We are not sharing in a way that is understandable by them. All right? If I have an issue and I can understand Hindi only, then nobody who is speaking French can make me understand, that particular issue. So language and, that empathy plays a huge role when we talk about, implementing policies in remote areas. Then solutions, capacity building, PPP, public-private partnerships, awareness campaigns that we are already doing, and continuous monitoring and adaptation of governance framework. So this is one of the most important part. We need to continuously monitor and assess what we are doing so that we can, make an impact at a higher level. That follows everywhere, either it's related to ESG or any aspect of policy you talk about. And I urge and I request each one of you who is again from the professional body to come up with certain frameworks which can help us to make that monitoring system effective. Because this is one of the challenge even which the government is facing in remote areas or in urban areas both. So that is Yeah. So that is my last slide. That is to brainstorm over certain questions which are written over the screen. What are the ethical implications of cross-modal coordination for green mobility? How can cross-modal coordination for green mobility address the needs of different stakeholders? What are the potential unintended consequences of cross-modal coordination? How can cross-modal coordination for green mobility can be made equitable and inclusive? And with this, I would like to end my presentation and request all of you to have just one quality along with individualism. And of course, you know, you all are coming from different fields. Another one is empathy. So until and unless you are empathetic towards each other and to the environment, you cannot solve the issue of sustainability and environment, and then the governance is not an issue basically. So environment and sustainability can only be solved if you are working at an individual level with the empathy. So with this, thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Priya madam.